Welcome to a little taste of how I use reflection circles with my first year theatre students at USQ. The quirky vagaries of learning to use one's voice and body to tell a story is key to their studio practice, rehearsals and reflections. Their theatre practice is to construct a convincing, fictional parallel world with their bodies that will be consumed by a paying audience. The ability to reflect opens a more intriguing portal into reflexivity, which, for the purposes of this learning and reflecting tool, means that the students engage in active thinking and reasoning to discuss nuance, and by doing so, create new pathways for understanding, shift out of old patterns, and adjust their bodies and voices for the story they are telling. Half the class is divided into one circle that sits in the middle, and the other half sit as a circle on the outside. Only the internal circle is allowed to speak freely for 10 minutes without interruption.
Well, what about New York? But I'd say like New York. And Marcus has been like pointing that out to me. And that's just something I've been trying to adjust. I've been finding that quite difficult.
Because that's what we're doing with our new poles. And then when it comes to like movement, I'm focusing more on breath and then like supporting my text with the breath that I'm inhaling. And then using that breath to the best of my ability.
I found that really helped with the rehearsal process, especially in the ensemble scenes with journalism or the starter and the scenes, because however the line before you was said, you have to kind of match that energy and send it out to the next person as well.
One thing though that I am going to struggle with though is trying to get the text memorized. Because it's similar to like what the text that we speak now. It's just some words are said in a different way, and that's just, for me, I reckon that's just going to like mess with my head.
On that point, I've had a problem with that as well, but there was one scene with Toby and Griffin where I get thrown off a cliff. That's what I imagine, at least. It's a good scene. He kind of had a beat going where he was like, this is the speed you need to go at.
Totally. So connecting the body to the language is really, that's kind of what you're learning to do. So that rhythm, that easy rhythm exercise gives you immediate context, as you said, on how to actually slow it down or speed it up or whatever it is that you have to do.
Well, as you can see, the teacher or facilitator is not usually allowed to comment on the discussion as it emerges. However, in this case, I'm trying to hammer home a point about what they are discovering in practice. It is important to note here that students are also taking notes, written and tapping on their laptops from these sessions, as they also keep a weekly reflective journal of their learning for assessment. The reflective circle, therefore, is a formative assessment that contributes to the summative.
Some feedback from the outside, please.
Yeah, what Emily was saying, just by doing the work kind of repeatedly, so that when you like go into the scene, like without knowing it, you're just more prepared to embody whatever it is.
Something I've noticed when we started Buckets, I literally had zero to none trust in myself and the people around me. I'd be like, oh shit, okay, I'm probably gonna mess up, or they're probably gonna do something, or I'm gonna feel uncomfortable and stuff. And because I've spoken to Marcus about it, and then he's like, okay, if you don't trust yourself, trust them, or trust me to trust them, or whatnot. And
there's a short 5 minutes where the outside circle can give their feedback. We've just seen Elliot and Victoria give advice and provide some excellent connections to their own overall understanding from the reflections they are making from listening to the inner circle. It is so important for the students to make connections over time and in the service of the actions they are creating, often repeatedly in rehearsals.
By saying it continuously, so there's no meaning behind it.
Correct.
But for me, if I'm learning by continuously saying the text, I'm putting images towards it. I actually think it's kind of hard to learn something by rote and not put an image towards the text.
If I was in a scene, we're in a pretty heated rehearsal about what we're doing, and if I forget a line, what I don't want my partner to do, I don't mind them correcting my line or whatever, as long as it's because I've forgotten it, not because they're just correcting the fact that I said something wrong. We do that after rehearsal. When you're in the moment, you want someone to just say the line quickly so that you don't let the ball drop.
What happened next was that the inner circle swapped with the outside circle, and we began again. 10 minutes for the inner circle to raise specific things from their journaling with each other, then 5 minutes of commentary from the outside circle. The variations in this video is up to the facilitator, as there was a small number of students participating in this. I often throw in joiners to help them come back to their learning. The great impact these circles have is that they are a weekly routine where students have 10 minutes of non-stop listening. Their articulation of the learning might seem boring to an onlooker, but what they impart to each other and themselves can be quite profound.